my everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Ha-ha. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody say, ah. Oh, oh, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, yeah, to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Oh, you're my thing, you know. 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 Yeah. So, oh, yeah.
Yeah, fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mranse mu. Eye legal services, be to say family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nyeden kra. Yen partner penimpa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na busuansem bi te se child care, eya abofrahwe mu, awaregya ye ho twema mentwe. Ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a, ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso. Yen child care any family team no nimnia wo famu ewe ne ya wo bremu. Enu ntine yetu ye mbo asema wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a wonni haw kra. Wo pe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas ni appeals. Yen senior partner eye member na wasagina tum ewo Law Society Immigration Accreditation Panel. Inti se taiwachi a wonni haw kra. Ye bie an office free dwada ekosi fiada anopa no nkrompa mu ekosi enumre no nsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene danso eye appointment nko free anopa no ndu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm. Ye wo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP. Sawun 93 Seven Sisters Underground nswa eye kwantie bi. Yen senior partner Bernardo Wusu san ye barrister ya gina tumu na oye Ghana Bar Association member ena wasan gina se mranimfo ewo court cases ya efa Ghana law ho. Wa advise local authorities, official solicitors office ni solicitors bebre efa Ghanaian law ho yi na osan yo bi a otai kasa ewo radio any TV so fa Ghanaian law.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services, including family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary and family law. At BWF, our solicitors are pleased to offer high-quality legal representation at competitive rates. Our senior partner, Bernardo Wusu, has over 29 years' experience as a lawyer in the UK. BWF Solicitors provide independent and practical legal assistance for all kinds of family matters, such as childcare, contested and uncontested divorce, and injunctions for domestic violence. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you in this difficult time, which is why we offer confidential advice delivered in a sensitive manner.
Emra Rainbow Radio Akasa Apudiso. Ha ena iwiasi nyina etie. Ye frame Prophet Stanley Osebre Ose. Anopai ye ne BWF Solicitors. Ena enya ehyiemu a ye ba badwene dwene. Emra nsem ho. Na ya kire wade ne abue wani afa enema bi a ekoso ho. Sane ye be ya wo nso ubetumi aboa wo ho na wabo wo ho ban. Anopai de mene lawyer Eunice ena yebetwetwe enkomo me paacho se oba ye Facebook no so a bombodi se obehye na watimi ama obi nsa aka bi esia ni se se banu so a emia enti manipa na wo meti bi engu na sum na wonfa bi nso enhye no kotodwem se ne yebe ya okina bi ne ho enkoka adwamu anopai se owo Manchester eye DAB plus na baby a wo bia no kai ho ne se ukọ internet no so anasententan no so a ubenya Rainbow Radio International ewo ho na so ukọ Facebook no so a Rainbow Radio International ene ye double L net ato pam na kire se ye na ye kro anopai mamema lawyer Eunice akwaba na memma no achen sania mehwa wodi ne tirinwi no abesensen no ho na enne no nsemu be firi mu ababe ye buruja lawyer Eunice me ba cho me ma wache
meje also prophets na pa cho wo ne busiafo ne asarefo ni na
nyame adom mami ye ho ye sania wo hwe me ametiwe nyame ahira ye
oh ye da yame ase pa and our birthday no so di ni sen
hey onyame ahira mu birthday no madaroma me nam kroma na me sresre nko a
ye da yame ase
ama obi ehun se birthday na akoyi pa
ye da yame ase ye da yame ase mami nchia etiefo ne ye viewers almost share ewo Facebook omutie ye ewo Rainbow Radio ebiamo share on YouTube so anase any other social media platform me mamunina good morning and I hope say munina yamyadom moye and yamunso akramo ama muso abedi ejumedi with ye and pay saying every week we give a few updates and then of course na ya twaso aka your main topic kwasem and what we can also do to make our lives a little bit better. And so in terms of your updates, I know say in India air coastal Ukraine, and it is something that everybody is looking to. We don't want a World War III, and we are hoping and praying say ceasefire no ever happen. But as it is, Obibeka so be I and I dream so baby be pan there. Just our head there, so yansana with Jemu, and we know say in response to this, a lot of Western countries, including America, I put economic sanctions on the Russian economy, and I know say it is also affecting people in terms of petrol prices and they almost say gas. And then it will also affect other things as well as time goes on. But we are standing with the people of Ukraine, and we are hoping that the UK government will do more to also help refugees and I say Ukrainians now or more bano I know that some people who have been able to escape the Ukraine, at least are in other nearby countries. I know that the process for which nkurɔfoɔ so applications to come to the UK because ebia ɔmo wɔ ebusuafoɔ bi ɛwɔ ha, whether it is ɔmo yere anaa ɔmo kunu anaa ɔmo maame anaa ɔmo papa anaa krampo sɛ ɔmo nana ɛna ɛte kurom ha, they can make the applications. They said it was a period of 24 hours to make a decision, but it seems that they are taking a bit longer to make those decisions. But we are hoping that they will speed up the process a bit more. Senya nkurɔfoɔ so able to me abɛka ɔmo busuafoɔ ɛwɔ kurom ha. And then in regards to also nkurɔfoɔ ɔmo ni ebusuafoɔ bia ɛwɔ ha ɔmo hwɛ senya ɔmo betumi aba kurom ha. I know that the hotline is very busy and they have applications for Ukrainians. Almost per se, almost ba a kurom ha. Obviously, at first, there was no war or there was nothing that would go on in Ukraine for Ukrainians to apply for refugee status and I say asylum. Kurom ha. But due to the current situation and what we are hearing on the news about even mothers and children being killed in hospitals, it means that as much as possible, as many people who can leave the Ukraine should be able to leave and also have some place to go to. Of course, it's because of things like this, internet, almost creating UN Convention on refugees or for asylum seekers to be able to go into other countries where they are at risk of harm. And she said, Bibi, esi wakrobe so na, of course, omo etumi ako another nearby country, but omo hope so omo betumi aba UK because the other countries are overwhelmed with the people. Then we are hoping that the UK too can also do more in accepting more Ukrainians as the EU countries are also accepting them. And of course, their UK governments not so able to me in regards to accepting more of the Ukrainians who are fleeing our country. In regards to your general UK immigration laws, I know that probably wonder and answer about applications and the fact that there are delays in regards to ABR application since last year, and I say ABR applications after 6 months, but still now I know that there are those who are able to also pay for priority service because Omujidi say they will be able to work and do all the other things because say Omu was the Canada at internet so much train. Say who was the car or person would do for priority service because ABR OE application no would you say every here and I say oh person to quite into as much as possible we hear priority service. With most settlement applications to settle and have any family applications, there is that priority service. And in regards to Nkofa Abia, omo ye entry clearance, ama Abia omo yere, and I say omo ba omo person omo join omo work room ha. There is also that should I say 1 week priority service. In Senono Sano, you have to pay for that priority service so that on way to me I go through application ne in yama in here nintem. Of course, enye obia ene was as kana on way to me a date priority service and ya decision no ever bantem. And let me just say that paying for priority no is not a guarantee say you have to make sure say every evidence that is needed to be provided in regards to your application or what providing senya and refuse so into say oh yeah priority service now didn't say guaranteed some of the Bamawa, and just you have to be very careful in terms of making those applications. But Eunice sikano now wait to me application no na of course we share timelines no home office for no omo complaints service and answer omo way and answer procedure in which so obi I application watching for a reasonable time na abia still na on say home office phone cano they have a complaint should I say online procedure on normal websites are over to me I go through to say that of course we application no it has been more than 6 months so still now on say on person their echo into BBC no most case workers will look at that, pick it up and try and do something about it. I know that in regards to even EU settlement scheme applications, no, because of the thousands of applications that were made, no, they are still dealing with a lot of backlog. In Sano, most people are wondering, what if I make a complaint, not still now, I mean, say on car, and I say, my lawyer na ebi omotro papa na say letter before claim na still na they are more can say because of COVID means to me make a decision as soon as possible, but you better try say you make a decision within a reasonable time. At least what that means that they are still working on the application. So what you can respond there, then you know that they are progressing with it. I would say so we are complaints don't keep making the same complaints over and over again unless there has been another period of time such that maybe another 3 months another 6 months still now won't say then of course you would want to make another complaint because first one or once your monka sisi ope say who say be 1 year back into ope so monka that you can go and do a follow-up complaint, send your own way to me and who the seriousness of the fact say delay na achepa. I know say they will have so much to say in regards to the fact that they are overwhelmed with backlog and all of that, but we can only do what we can as people. So we are complaints now. We say now we at least one more estimate I respond within that reasonable time. So I'm out. So that is in regards to Nkofua ABA almost stressing ya on way to me any response after day application. So atum and also just to just make people aware say oh yeah. EU applications, of course, then lawyer Richard also last week. No, if you are here in the UK now, before 31st December 2020, of course, over to me, ISR EU settlement scheme applications maybe, and if you have family members to say na obviously you can also make those EU settlement scheme applications. And as the Abiana unim hushe utikrom ha wo the way you retained rights and as when you permanent residence or bisadia and also no so ubomode yes EU settlement scheme because you na you say EU form utikrom ha ne omubusia for no should I say protected under the EU laws and asset treaties now we were previously tied to as a country, but because of the fact that every EU limited now there's a EU settlement scheme also abama Nkofua omuti krom ha na say omatina krom ha as EU nationals so omonje British citizenship inti omodaso wo EU passport omobusa for so and that's what Chrome ha and someone in our so yeah. But why is such application now only refuse so now appeal no so was not allowed. I know that the options are that you can make another application, but there are also, the Home Office is also saying, say, people who have previously done the application and then obviously gone through an appeal almost sign another application or almost need reasonable excuse they say almost to me and your application no before 30th of June 2021. So it's a you can still argue the reason why, of course, we'll sign another application after the deadline of 30th of June. It may not be that the reasonable reasons now after the 30th of June 2021 will apply to you, but as long as ABA will announce a lawyer or your application now no able to me put it forward good grounds and as arguable reasons why our application no one found soon before 30th of June and as I refuse say I will call appeal or sign another application they will have that discretion to consider that reason now almost to me I share application no into that is also in regards to EU nationals and I say ebusia for EU nationals ebusia for to chrome her. So that is also something in regards to EU nationals. In the Prophet, major updates no aha na yetumi atwaso.
Yo, wada ruma sania wodi yen abesi eno ano no sania wama ye update no emu ye hwam papa nanka woko ni nyina na meka se obema ye law bi a ebe cover 22456 e dia kwatiri Putin ni amanager nsema a oye nyina se na ebe ya ewiase bedwo sisi won petrol bu akosoro bibia akosoro bibia emene ye enti ewose niyama timie kama anopai eha eye Rainbow Radio International landing nyina eha na obi atie ye ene de Ghana eba abruchiri ne de abruchiri eko Ghana anopai lawyer Eunice ene wate na nkano mame ma no 1 minute bi na omfa emini ntosio na omfa news na nkasa emre ye anopai ma meba mem ko tenaso
Ye fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mransemu. Eye legal services, be to say family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWF die, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nyeden kra. Yen partner penimpa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF Solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi ti se child care eye abofrahwe mu awarja ye ho twuma mentwe ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso. Yen child care any family team no nim nia wo famu ewe nia ya wo bremu enunti ne yeto yembo asema wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu. Yen senior partner obi a Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel agina tumu na osanso ye member na kyerese eba no se ye gina wachi etwitwaje ewo family any matrimonial cases ho a unni haw kra. Upe advice ewo immigration sensem ho. Wo BWF Solicitors die ye immigration team no abredare ewo general immigration ho nsemsem kosi complex immigration, work permit, student visa ho totoye, any entry clearance visas, family visas ni appeals. Ye senior partner
at near corner lawyer Eunice ya senye chinchim ofidie ne dia besi so fire kwe ene e na ekoso
into your main topic for ende Prophet Sobe it's to do with profa ebia omo ejai aware anakrampo se na omo ne obite ena omo wo eba anasa omo wo nkola ena omo ejai but nipa pa ko ena ehwe nkola no nipa na ofifie no ebia one nkolane life no nti opese at least otumi enya some contact and answer otumi enya that relationship back with nkolano. It's the end. I'm speaking specifically to Nkofo omo epe sa contact and answer omo pe sa relationship with nkolano. It's unfortunate that it's not every parent that is should I say a parent. Say you worry asem na wo ba obia enchrew senya obeye mame anase papa say one kasa usua senya obetumi ahwe oba ye there's no manual, and even if there's a book on good parents in Krampono, I still think those things are never enough because wait to me really they will help you to a point, but every child is different. And your parents, so unfortunately, they care only about themselves and they don't have any regard to nkolano kra. Ebi mo krampo to me to nkolano twene, and they don't care because omo jide say, say mi ankasa krampo no bia inyema sisi wa ma abrabe mu adenti na se me kope akola na se me fa akola bed no so etume so. Nti I want to speak specifically to parents now. Omunim say they have a responsibility. Once you bring a child into this world, you also have a responsibility to also look after that child. And you never know because akola na wo hwe no debi also betumi ahwe. Ebia unisika obetumi ato bibia akola ne pe anase inyema akola no ehwehwe, but you know say at least akola nim say ne mame ene ne papa ewo na bravo no ma at least ebia ne mame wa advice be obema no, but ebia ono so ne papa no say oka bibia otie because ne papa so looks at things from a different perspective and I say obetumi amane futu a obe hu say na kami ye ne say ya and also mfaso wom. And see, I think say when it comes to parents in Nigeria, it is about those who are serious about taking responsibility. And as I said, enye opia ena pet responsibility. They care less about the embassy ever akolani life no. But say we are serious parents, you want to be able to know say akolana wawo no bibia ekoso pepepe ewa na brabum and ebia onoso sa no, although our own advice if you one awo for hono also we inputs and we advice and enyama obetumi put in akolani life no so important. And see they cherish those things. And kola dear, when they are children, they keep everything at heart. Inyema bi wo ho ebia mama no be hu, but papa no hu. And I say papa no so be hu, but mama no so hu. And it's the way children are also brought up that at least omo enya sa confidence, omo nya omo say, oh okay, because me mama chere me say ni say and I say me papa chere me nyema bia na nka minim, but because of me papa nti bia mabaye say and I say because of me papa nti me so me to me atwa so aye dia say me ye bia. It's when it comes to children, it is very important say both parents our for mama and I say papa ebe take a role in sa akola ni life no. Into yenhwe in terms of embrano, what it means for a child who, for instance, one mama ho say ne papa so se enya sa contact with a kolana, then or papa na say so or papa chain then or mama no so able to me aye senya and also be to me enya nkita ho with akolano. Most of the time, it is not just for parents, but and then we are looking specifically at our for. Most of the time, you say awofo no omo astatu omo din ewo akola ne birth certificate no so a sa parents na omo awo akola no omo no na omo was that parental responsibility for akola no. And I know say in this country it was not always the case that awofo no enware ya they will always give the parental responsibility to omame, but because of Imbrasu Science, since the Children and Adoption Act of 2002, omo ekaye say awofo no krampo enware na opapa edin ewo birth certificate no so a sa opapa no so was a parental responsibility no for akola no. When it comes to, of course, the fact that ebia because mama ne papa no omuntem etete ye nti nipa baako efa nkola no anasa akola no na nipa baako nso efifie because na omu entumi enka maninsi senya omu betumi aye afa nkola no de omu hia security. Believe you me, akola so when him say you adopt na most of the time they want that should I say closure in their mind. Say oh bia me mama anase me papa me say me hu die nsi a e bia omo ja me ho omo ntumi anhwe me na obi fufuro hwe me. They always want that security, they want that assurance. So we always say it is vital say awofo no so every play role in nkola no omo life nim. Nti of course say awofo no omo din ebo birth certificate no so na bako ka say parent bako empese me hu me ba no nti me pese at least court ni bem na omo to me decide matter no because maka mama na say papa no on person obeti nti then na me to me aye afa ho. In cases like that, I know say most of the time people who are very reluctant and also omo confident no omo pe court case bia nti ya kan na nipa ko na nti dia and the omo person omo court bia omo person omo jemu na bibianka because omo ni sa sikana anasa omo ni sa confidence omo to me edia through the court process to be able to get sa child amendment order with Nkolano. But it also determines on how much you as a parent you want to play a role in a Kolani life. It shouldn't be the case because of their mama na ye and answer their papa na ye ninti obeyi Nkolano every nintim. It is because you want to be able to bring up your children in the best way possible. Of course, and yes, straight away, and over to me, I application, I call I say, mommy way, and that's a papa way on person who we buy and one say, me application no on the form C100 to the court. And no, the court will also like to see, say, more as a wolf for no, wait to me, I come into some agreements, and I say, wait to me, I go through some form of mediation, and no. And I friend in Mayam. In Mayam no say it's a mediation and information and assessment meeting. Saying I'm made to me, I can in some no amanesi. Most of the time it will be a family mediator and ebeko through sa in yema way with our phone. Say let's say nipakona or person or the case no echo court no. So or contact say family mediator in terms of Samayam where omo bet to me afre omame and as omo bet to me afre papa na Nkolano etin nchen. They will want to see if they would like to attend meetings at least omo bet to me aka ama assembly AC. So of course say omo contacted sa parents no unwilling to go through sa mediation process no, then they will go ahead and say yeah, try your best say you able to me I contacted sa other parents and I say yeah, try your best say you able to me any other parents no akasa it doesn't have to be together. Usually they can speak to both parents separately. Senya, who say there has been some form of agreement, but say other parents no is not willing, and I say other parents no hasn't been able to provide contact details. Senya, to me and kasa, then they will have to sign on the form C100. Say, I should share kwan bi so a betumi ne other parents na kasa, and I say try say betumi other parents no aka senya benya some informal agreements, but bibia benya bia no koso ye nti ma court ne hu say nipa na opese o application to the court no waye dia say o ye nyina, but unfortunately nti because entumi ama other parents no and coming to an agreement nti almost sign senya court no so ebedi asem no na asem no so yebehu ne ye. Of course say mediation services no sign form na nipa ko na person your application, and as a parent now person your application to the court no so or the details ever share so staff form C100 no no a form for Section 8 orders. Into Section 8 of the Children's Act 1989. I don't know under Section 8 no we have orders for child arrangement, we have orders for specific issue, and I say prohibited steps orders. Awofo and I say nibakona opese one akolane enya contact no so ebe to me any akolano so enya contact. Into most of the time no awofo no say make her so birth certificate no so or parental responsibility. Into now fill forms no with details. The NC opese court no share assembly. Is it because the other parent is not willing, and I say contact now within Colano, ABI your phone so pay person who are Colano, person only a Colani din kisaho, apart from just the phone no person who are Colano, it didn't appear a year in Yamabi, a one abrabum into person court no so Emma or Quine Senya ABI Colano, or bet now on chain every other weekend, and I say every holiday piano. Now I bet now on chain now we so only no didn't get a home. I share their air call. I want a brabum into open court no so extra sign yama winning na. It may be say a bia more muntem to say when it's a colana mammy and I say papa no muntem to say no. Some time has come into a bia unnim contact details of mommy and I say or papa. Says usually the courts no will advise say over completely a C4. In say no say last time now unim no na mama no ebia ote address say ni say, but see there unim baby ote or last contact number now unim star number way ebia no ote Hackney Barrow, and I say no ote Haringey Barrow. Into court no so able to me investigation say ya to me ehu baby sa mama and I say papa no ete. And usually to help the court in these areas is obia your friend a Kafka's officer. Into Kafka's officer obia or your social worker within the local authority. Into once the Kafka's officer becomes involved, also to me enya sa contact details of the other parents senya at least they can also present reports to the court for them to make a decision. What the Kafka's officer does is usually say onim say akolana anase nkolana ese mamena anase papa ne nchen ya share interactions with nkolano. Kasabe interview nkolano individually. The nkolano nkola ebia under the age of 5. They will still see the interactions with them and ask them questions just to know what they are like. And then if, for instance, other parents know in your contact with Oma, they will just ask them questions in regards to ebia what they feel about the other parents or how they used to interact with the other parents. And say Kafka's officers will make all of these assessments. So I interview parents now ebia only in Kolane life nim. Into not only to me anya the sort of person that Nipakono eye. Say Nipakono so abusive person, they will make further investigations. They can even go to the police services to find out information in regards to Nipakono, the behavior, if there has been past domestic abuse, and now say physical violence, and now say if they've committed previous criminal offenses, they would want to know, senya omube to me, the right assessment in regards to whether the children will be at risk, and I say or papa and I say mama enter omo life ni bima akwala no be okay ana. Until they make all of these assessments and then they write a report to me ediama court no. So in regards to the child arrangement order no, of course yeka say o pese court no ehwe bibi sana, then you are trying to let the court know say because we pay some direct contact and I say we pese court no ehwe mu na omotumi edi asem no eka say se wo so wo nkola no omabrabo mu nti of course kola no person omotina won chen during the holidays and I say every 2 weeks beyond so omo share sa asem no, and then they will also want to make assessments as to the parents the bakona why application say opese nkola no ewo na brabo no, what they have in terms of, for instance, say also be sure akola na wo baby say nkola no omo betumi enya baby adana. They are going to look at the fact that we to me emiti nkola no omo physical needs, we to me emiti omo emotional needs, we obia we to me ne nkola no akasa at least omo betie omo so ubetie omo. And then in terms of omo education, ebia oti baby omo school no embang. But even if, for instance, you were to change schools no for akola no, they are trying to, of course, know that the school ben crampona over to me any akola no ako school. Ope se uma akola no a good upbringing senior. So the work for school crampo bar over to me abwana amanaye. And you know, with schools in the UK, every term and that's every year be a parents evening and as a parents meeting saying to me I catch your progress of akolano education in kolano be wa person go school crampo and as a parents no crampo anytime or day in kolano ebeko school and I say in kolano education performance no abaform because there are things going on now they don't necessarily want to share with the parents, but who say so and they want to know how best who as a parent will be able to improve their educational needs. In the same way in court no they will also consider the age of nkola so with child arrangement orders usually almost last stay up to the time akola no be 16. After the age of 16 no let's say akola no they can decide which parents they want to live with at that age. Child arrangement orders are usually up to the age of 16, or if you request that the court should make it up to the age of 18, they can also do so. But in regards to nkola abia omwedi 12, omwe to me akasa, omwe to me expressing omo in regards to awofa omo person omo tina omo nchen. The Kafkas will make all their recommendations because say omone in kolane interacting na omoshe say oh okay ebia akolano on pese obetina ne mame nchen because ebia na ne mame otabo no anase bibi esiwo omuntemti na akolano opese otina ne papa nchen anasa opese otina ne mame nchen on pese obetina ne papa nchen because of this and that reason. But nkwadaa no so bi wɔ hɔ a they don't mind which parent they live with because they feel say both parents are important in omo life. Nti if bibi saa no CAFCAS officer no at the back to the reports nim. And then they will also consider the fact say ebia say akola no so say ye share the fact say ye nip say obetumi so the background is the fact say maybe a ne mama and asa ne papa no they used to take the child to school into be more preferable say ebia because of the fact say ne mama and asa ne papa no were the ones taking the child to school and they are more connected or they have bonded more with or mama ninti and asa or papa ninti, they are more likely to suggest say omubetina sa parents honchen, but they don't mind going to the other parents' house ever so often. And so they will look at things like that, omo background ne bibia. And I say I'm also in regards to ABIA, if there is any criminal record, into say ABIA awofono, they are previously known to have committed domestic abuse. And now Crampo said they take drugs around the children, and as a bibisano, they will always make sure say they have information in regards to almost criminal past, and see if this is something that was done recently, and they would also make that recommendation, which is CAFCAS. Say, who say ABIA, akolane mami and answer the papa offer drugs, and also who say akolane mami and answer the papa, they were previously involved in domestic violence. And see, because of this, no, Omujide say the children are at risk of harm. Say if they are looking at it from that perspective, say because of ABIA, the fact that there has been previous domestic violence towards ABIA or mame anase or papa ninti, it is likely that the children may be at risk. They will have to look more deeply into it. Into sometimes CAFCAS officers can also go into the school to go and find out if the child has made any complaints in regards to or mommy and answer or papa ne baby on pay. They can go and ask for that information from the schools as well. When they say, of course, say or mommy and answer or papa crampono, why but maybe in terms of domestic abuse, no, still no. Say courts no consider the seriousness of sa abuse no and access sa crime no. Now at least to me assess whether the parent should have that direct access, because almost say akola no, are they still at risk of being harmed by this parent, or even awofona omotin in China, are they at risk even with that parent? And there are cases where even awofona only in Kolanete, no, they have done things that are so bad that even though the children are saying that omo person omo betina ebia or papa onti omonche, they will still prefer to live with Sama Amina, who has committed criminal offenses, ebia shoplifting, drug taking. There will be a whole list of offenses, no, but they will consider the fact that ebia, because in Kolano, I was our bond with they would have to see how best the other parent can share responsibility and answer to me, I share in Kolano. So it doesn't mean that because we are criminal past and answer because you have committed criminal offenses, no, they won't give you that direct access to Nkolano. It's based on the seriousness of the offense and whether they believe that the child will still be at risk of being harmed. Into a no court no able to me away. So those factors. And then when it comes to the fact that ABIA in Kolano, so ABIA only papa na only fee entina dano, they want to assess akola way say ABIA or kotina or papa nchenya, what is the likelihood? And so during the child arrangement order procedures, no, most of the time omobe kase Kafka's officer no and share the way ebia or papa no only in Kolani life no saying all interacting with in Kolano so they can organize for a meeting with the children. And one can say okay you person yes share into within a controlled environment social workers no ebe recommend no na omo share the way interaction no ebe between or papa ne akwala no senya at least omo betumi and make those recommendations to the court into say wo ka say o pese akwala no obetena on chain for weekends and also o pese akwala no obetena on chain every other week. They want to know senya woni akwala no so ebe interact. They want to know say mo get it on and of course they are all no to me I home recommendations no so to the court. And of course they will want to also know that if say or papa no and say or mama na or pair contact no say on akola no will let's say a bit of a barrier because they are not used to being with that parent no, then they will advise say maybe they should try every other week say oko peki akola no oni akola no so and ebeko McDonald's and say baby star no, but not necessarily say akola no ebet na sa parents fear because they still haven't built that emotional bond and that's a baby star. And they will also look at the fact say also who can say me awofo na me need contact with akola no say me so me to me provide into what are your circumstances like uye juma na say obe to me ahwe nkola na and also say no omo be hwe and also uye juma obe to me ahwe nkola obe to me aye shopping omo obe to me ahwe mo ni senya omo so omo enhia hwe of course we can say who fear wetin they also want to know say at least in Kolano ebenya baby ada almost struggle say omo co baby or ebia only one kasa we 1 bedroom only 2 bedroom o say we kofa ba 2 abetina on chair every other week. They will look at all of this. They will have to make sure say you have suitable accommodation in Kolano so omo ba omo betumi atna what we so betumi ahwe omo ye. So they will look at all of these things and then make their recommendation to the court because in America no, it is to do with the court making a decision based on akolane welfare, and these are all decisions and other factors are court no eshe in regards to section 1 of your Children's Act na me boss no. And they make those recommendations, which is Kafka's no, almost making those recommendations, knowing that court also almost consider these factors when they are making a child arrangement order. And they say, "Only fear what's name, only a juma oye na o ka say, hey, me person kwalano, almost bet na maintain every other week." Ain't possible, sir, because of course recommendation na court and I mean Kafka's no ever yeah ama court no ever can say. One kasa no unni baby a wotina and asa wo kono ma wotina no 1 bedroom care and asa 2 bedrooms into ebe den ama o senya wo betumi ahwe nkola no because nkola no so munya baby da say wo so wonye adwuma wo budget benefits ahe etumi ahwe nkola no ebia the other parent is already collecting benefits or hwe nkola no into wo so o kase nkola no betina won chen a wo so woje benefits ashoma what good is there in it? Into they have to look at all these circumstances in order to make more recommendation to the court. If you believe say of course we are juma say akola no ba won chen krampo na one wo other wife ete ono so betumi aboa in terms of akola na mo pese mo hwe no. Of course, there are issues in terms of other parents are not being willing during the process to let you have any contact with the child whatsoever. I know say under section 11 of the Children's Act court no powers be almost to say our no, if you are not making any effort to be part of this court process and the court proceedings now, they can issue a warning notice. Order them say when to me I'm back for hearing, and answer when to me I'm back for the Kafka's reports and answer assessments now. These are the consequences which lie ahead. Some courts are very strict. They can even tell you that the one when this one you'll be held in contempt of court, and which is also an imprisonable offense to be held in contempt of court. Say, say, of course, mommy and I said, papa no, still now want to me back court because of this and that reason. They will consider the reasons that you put forward, but to not turn up at all and I said to not make any effort, say, will be a part of the proceedings. No, so there are some cases where the courts can go as far as saying, say, and the say parents, no, so some voluntary punishment, and I said, be to say, your friend, those we're now almost in regards to putting somebody into the community to do some voluntary work, and I said, "Bibi sa, says any pakrono, yeah, ni pakrono nim say, and yet because of sika, but because of their may and in courts no empese menya sa adagya menya me pese memma sa parents now pese wo hu nkola no ebe hu nkola nti courts no ma me yes voluntary services no, and they can go as far as doing that. But in regards to parents now ebia almost excuse say ebia because of a humanity ebia me ye juma part time from this time to this time na me to me akofa nkola no and ase me to me any nkola no ebe wo ho me ni obi a obehwe nkola no, and because me ni obi a obehwe nkola no, unfortunately no akoba ne say me to me back court ni bi, but they want to make sure say at least because the other parents also want some interaction with akola nti so to me bisa we jumem for some holiday, and also so to me bisa we jumem to give you some mornings off just so that you can be part of the process, because they know say there are cases where, for instance, because only child care needs, you have to be with the child. Say ube to mini akolano crampo abacot na they don't mind say only akolano and I say enkolano abacot, and I say now that we have CBP hearings, which is video link hearings, no, here crampo say ube court room honum at least ube to me I we no link no na on way to me and no edin kita home. So there are so many ways now that the other parents can become involved, because I know that there are some cases where, for instance, mommy and I say papa na or nkola no, they will not make any efforts whatsoever to even make the other parents aware say nkola no, and I say akola no ne ho ye, and I say akola no aha ne aha and I yewo. Because of all these things, when it comes to things like this, Kafka's officers would always want to make a recommendation in favor of parents now or seeking order no. And it's one of those things that the court takes seriously. Say if another parent is not making the effort to attend court hearings, and they are not making an effort to let the other parents have the interaction that they need with Kolana, then it becomes very difficult. As I said, say akolane in kakrana on so it's me making their own opinions, and I say or to me put forward their own views then the social services will consider this. They will also say of course akolana say akolano ne basis on which all ka say ebia on person only other parents no ebedi nkita ho no BB, which is not based on facts, and I said which is not based on idea other parents now, then they will try and see if they can get the child to interact with the other parent just to see if their akolano ekano ebesisana. And so when it comes to these proceedings and these hearings now, it is always important say they would look at the interactions between awofo ne akolano senya omube to me and make it the best recommendation to the court senya court no so able to me put order in place for awofo no. There are some cases that can take a year, some cases can even take up to 2 years or 3 years just because of the way the other parent will comply with court orders, no? And where there is a court order, for instance, for Omamino and answer or Papano to have that direct contact and answer direct access, say, Opesa only Akolano, it's not every other week and answer during holidays, no? Say, order no, it's a key effect. Na ebia awofo so and the order no so ebia during holidays no on fa akola na embrewa na say on my home to me enkofa akola no and na crampo say every other week na mo happiness so say obesha akola no other parents no end so when it becomes like that then you have to go back to the court again to say mama na nasa papa way still na court order na woman you know yendi so and then the court can also give a monitoring order to the CAFCAS workers and I say officer senya omube to me and monitor what is going on in regards to omame and I say or papa na on per se or sa other parents no pesha akola no. That way they will give recommendations to the courts ebia mame no the situation say ohia say papa no ebema ne sika no for akola no and sana de akola no ama o papa no nti ebia say o papa no the monthly should I say income for akola no ma mame na ebia that way obepe no so ama papa no abehwe neba. Nti there are things that they will consider if they need to make further recommendations senior or papa and answer or mama na or here contact no ebe to me ne akola no edi nkita ho. And so there are situations where of course if the other parent is not compliant the court can put in place certain things ebe to me abua ebia mummy enu crampo no muhia extra training and answer muhia extra advice in regards to how move to me ashre in Kolano. And the court can also make some recommendations in terms of Akolana mosheno and passe mummy no na mun to me enshomu because of A, B and C reason. And see as a court no your person moko parenting classes kakra senya move to me ashre senya in Kolano move to me ashre mu if that is the case, the court can also make recommendations to both parents. Saying move to me across our classes, saying at least in Konano so ebenya and home fast war. When it comes to making these child arrangement orders, I know that it can be a long process for most parents, and it is something that is costly because every hearing na over kono is a offer barrister paperwork na. So omoye no so solicitor and as a lawyer so beje will fee. And then of course when it comes to even making the initial child arrangement application no to the courts no and also who fee ewo ho it is quite a lengthy process, but at least unim say over akola na brabo no that is worth more than any money that somebody can put on akola life. Especially when you know, say, other parents know, epese osisiwo, and answer on pese akola no ubehuno. Then you have to take those steps to say, meso minim me responsibility as a parent. I know, say, akola no esemeshono, and yet courts no and I catch me say mima akola ni sika senya, say o mame and answer o papa esheno. I said me and I met to me extra kolano. In making that bold step to go for that child arrangement order no. Now we will say it is because a person will play a role as a parent in a colony life into na who take our steps no into when we are thinking about the children and their welfare now, then that will also help us to put away cost and I say sikan honsem na yetumi enya sa relationship na akolani here ewa na brabunum. And see, this is just should I say an advice to your parents and I say ya wofua omuni inkolano eni nkitaho a ompese at least omunya nkitaho with yen kolana omu desperately need that should I say that bond with both parents, and it's not just the one parent that they need to have in their lives. Into prophets meja ne hana yetumi atwaso
mo maame lawyer yedawase ene ene aduri de yebe jai telephone number num e de amatiefo na one awoko san no wo de abrewo se se de ene de eye child and parenting na ya hwenia amamfo e de beba enso men kan kire amamfo se do say eye child and parenting no eno nkire se wo question to the other side untumi mbisa BWF Solicitors de bia ne yabue yapono ye gye yagum ba bia ode befa bia no ye benya no ye ade ama anopai brasoe 0208 133 4646 0208 133 4646 na mediwa ma lawyer na one atimi yi ensem na no me ba cho me ma achi ema wakwa ba.
Hello, good morning. Mipacho, my mama Chin, Chia lawyer, so na Mipacho, I'm sorry, dear, my question. Miss Miknuk of Ede family free Ghana and buy on the 2.5, no, or British. Na May ni be May, I think say 13th May. Na me reading online, almost say what's the May, I think almost 2.5 now. You can do exactly 2.5 now. You can do the application. You will Ghana women in August. Into me percent come a year. Your friend is saying fast track. They need priority. Now, my question is, me person me this lawyer say priority. Does it really work? Like who tias kana unya priority na me minta almost here 1 week the any same day so the 24 hours of same day there. And here my question number 1. Question number 2, person in this lawyer form Ben I'm a and my last question, what was the earliest time making a application? My question.
Okay, my last question first. In regards to time over to me application, usually they say within 28 days of leave no able into within 28 days, say we'll say 13th May now, we'll leave Bewa. Anytime before 13th May, no, so we make your application now, obviously, almost fees, no, and it's submitted online, then you know, say, you've made the application in time, and see any day before the 13th of May. And now,
okay, means me earlier than that. Yeah, say ending of March, and I say first week in April.
I mean, if you want to make it in March, they will also consider the fact that you've also made an application before the 28 days. So some be they will add what they need to add to it. But in terms of making the application, say earlier before the 28 days, you can also do so. I know say with partner applications, ABA, senya wo Cambodian, Wuknu, Kofao Free Ghana, until you were able to meet all of the requirements. You should still be able to meet the relationship requirement, the immigration status requirements, the English language requirements, any financial requirements, with accommodation, for them to give you 2.5 on the 5-year route. If you are missing any one of them, almost 2.5 no, but almost they will be to 10-year route no so. Until you have to be able to make sure that you still meet all of those requirements and sana.
Yeah,
Why?
I do meet all the requirements. Not me problem. One time I'm intended because there's misinformation online. It be so far as I spend 30 months now, you can do your application. Maybe so for 28 days you are working. So now my dream was say one shot may not the right information. Let's say 28. Now me quiet before 28. One shot now or my extending mom now month for month to the right route that they're working. Now me person me escape April. I know say for new fees and so but almost back to soon. See now me before 5th of April now, and after 6th of April now. Release new fee now. Now come check.
Matu, of course, over to me your application no before obviously 28 days no aber it's say open Saturday to April and I said before the 5th of April and I said because you want to swerve fees that will increase around that time, then of course you can do so. You can put in the application. In regards to the form FLRM, so FLRM. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the form that you use to complete the application. And of course, when it comes to priority services, no, the only time it's a 1 week service is when the application is being made outside of the UK. But when you are within the UK, no, they say that it's a 24-hour service. Into say, meet requirements, no, na why your application was submitted via online. Bookie biometric appointments na. Biometric appointments, nature say, they would have all of your documentation, send your own way to me, I process the application now. In saying yeah, Dana would the best submit it online. In Dana, Ube Kwakoya will biometrics, Ube upload the documents, no, amo, na at least, omo, to me, ashrim. So, what's your priority service from the time documents, no, no, that's when they will be able to make a decision. Until within that 24 hours.
Okay. Now, lawyer, into this UK, no, almost just 24 hours, priority. Only 5 working days, account. And no, it doesn't work for UK, Anna.
Into those ones are for outside the UK applications. In the UK, it's a 24-hour, should I say, decision making time, because wait to £800. I mean, £800 is a lot of money for some people, isn't it?
It is.
$800 that you want a quick response. It's of course, it's a case where I can never back to say ABR Nensa Anka documents now. It might prolong the 24 hours a bit, but they will still make a decision as soon as they get documents, no.
Okay. Now, do you normally go there for interview because it's 24 hours? Now, do you have to go there yourself?
Pacho Debbie, in the case where I don't even think some office. They have the documents sent to them in their emails, and then they will just make a decision based on the scanned documents.
Okay, me pacho. Yeah. Oh, yeah, me pacho Manisha.
Yeah, Manisha also.
Okay, bye.
Say bye. Adwuma sani you know. Me pacho braso mame enne anopai. Na one lawyer emedi nkomo. Me pacho me mawachi ema wakwaba ebadwumade so.
Hello, lawyer, and the prophet. Me pacho musume mamwachi.
Ohene ya Joshua mu.
Yo, we there. Me pacho me question bi na pese bi bisa na. Pese bi bisa lawyer say me wo ba wo krum ha. With the akola na me no maame na struggle akola no was 6 years with the maame na co family mediation now as we speak mama na 7 days wa respond like ko be 2-3 weeks ni still na on responding to me person me de C100 form no na me fill for C100 form me the court but me nin krata when me nim say netimi I make that application in their court to get access to the chat. Mrekura mimi ni nkrata as at now. And I say, Quan Bears soon a miss me to me, and young crater if says a day, cockwater, Necra Corano, at the 6 years now. You will know Kruma, or mamma no 2.5 years. But me in Jayeno, or call Fufro, and my cranny a pretty or no dear need. But me in the banner is the 2.5.
Okay. In regards to first question, no, now Oka say, of course, unya and if they say we feel it's a 100 form, no, na, with the case, no, ako court, no, obey to me, because of the fact that only in Krata. When it comes to family applications, now, there is no, should I say, interaction with the fact that also only in Krata. Immigration issues are separate from family issues. The reason I open child arrangement order is not because open in Krata. The reason you want a child arrangement order is because open so what akwalana brabum, and that is the reason that most parents will go for a child arrangement order. And in regards to akwalano, of course, say open say only akwalani edin kitanwa. The Kafkas on her says social worker, no, they will make all of these assessments before making a recommendation to the court. And see, I'm sure say mediation service no ever signing C100 no. Say to me application no come court now. They will also contact the woman Anasem Omameno and they will ask her to attend the hearings, and Kafkas will also have to do their own assessment with or no any akolano just to make a good assessment for the court. And say, of course, say, oh yeah, application now, and because of one no, because of person who akolana brabum. And in regards to the immigration route, and I said the immigration side, say about family orders, there is now case law or policy in place in regards to say opese who uses our court order for an immigration case. Say utumi san ebisa court no senya over to me e uses our contact order na say child arrangement order na omdiama ono over to me e use for immigration matter. See, you can't just go to the court and to the Home Office and say me or child arrangement order. You have to ask the court for permission and sign over to me. I'm a client saying over to me. You see, no for your immigration case. The child is now 6. Say akola 87 ewo krom ha, and I yet to me share akola no the parental responsibility that you have with akola no. And see, Sakolani D7, then you can think about making an application for one kasa with 2.5. Say naka we did 10, then I would have said, I didn't know when your application, Emano, now on be British citizen. Say then of course you would be able to rely on the fact say, also a British. But because they say we did 6, no, you're on the right path. Go ahead. Yes, our child arrangement order no now at least omuma or direct contact, because your phone to phone contact with immigration or per se unya sa fiscal and say direct contact with akolano senya eba with immigration applications now, then you will be able to say because me in kolano and as akolano ewo in kitahunenti me so me per se me make application for sa 2.5 no with sa akolawe. Go ahead, go and make the application now. Ensure their courts no edibema.
Lawyer, me does it pa radiso. Me does it. Why woman near me chance.
I had a oba na wani andia. Baby I do because for be wani because I had an simni na anu yi ewo. Me pa cho me ma achi ema wakwaba.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, ma. Wadaroma.
Yeah, Michia, lawyer, any profit, Michia Monina.
Obahema, yeah, you was what, Crunton.
But me president is who British children now, who per se, maybe I am out 2.5 years, who per se, renew forms, application forms, pena, ubefili. And then me question patch.
Okay, so your parents now fill another extension for 2.5 year form FLRFP. LR.
Patch FLR.
FP.
FP.
Pachai.
Patch you. It has a pam, madam, on Sinyamin Shroud.
Your insurance.
Okay, thank you.
Prophet and Uncle.
He said, Wabeji apofri on person ubetuya consultation fee.
Oh, even my dreams are to me, I am more application. Oh, yeah, or not as any application. And I almost say, or wrong side because our parents and our coffee to say child into almost rejected. By the time almost rejected, and none leave no so you trim. Into nice, I was signing another application. And
all over
again.
Ah, nipa breu.
Oh,
yo, me pacho, me mawachi, amo akwaba.
Hello, good morning, Prophet. Hello, Prophet.
Yes, sir. Ya papa.
Yeah, lawyer Eunice, Mr. Michiao.
Oh, me Joso.
Yo, lawyer Pacho, me wo kakra Mr. Sambisa. My sister, last year, oye sokofa nemba twins aba. Na omo rejected. Na rejection no two ni na omo different the year. But for omo say nenim no omo hia nenim no eni say ne age ya. And omo refuse here. And about cause birth certificate no. And see no I say nya omo say nenim no. Appeal no omo the court appeal ni year. That was last year June. And a court no the home office fa and a court no the home office now sending the by there according to me for presenting a passport for the visa last year June. And all the passport no call here. Yeah, until someone can say, Ohana lawyer in the car say, Omo say, Akodano, when you're 21 years in July into Jennifer, to say, Nemameno, adaptation, and they call you. Since that time, almost 8 months to me, until the DRB. Now, unfortunately, so if the lawyer now, I shall say, no, we win a case, and he has nothing to do again. And we don't know what to do now. Up to now, since June now, court grantee say, up to now, Kodani may do her, Yenya, to some home office. The money transfer in some cases, and show say, I mean, Esha Kodano, they are caught. Up to now, Yenya, from home office, and then person will say, what should we do?
I think it's very important say lawyer no so be say up kakra when him say there is all why but if you look at the fact say akola no yemfa visa no enter the passport no as much as he was responsible for making the application, I think say at the end of the day too he will have that compassion to see it through saying akola no so yeah the visa no ever to the passport now when we say okay at least I mean when it comes to chasing things up with the home office it can be a lot of work because over here emails are come say I didn't know Emma nipa kono ne visa na send a passport no and then they will not respond and you have to keep chasing them and see as much as possible no. The emails are at the disposal of the lawyer because most of the time, emails now, ube to me email home office for a lawyer and they be it will be very difficult for you to email unless you want to call them directly. I know say with outside country applications no say they charge for those calls. Into who as a layman no, you can call them, you can try and find out why they still haven't issued the passport, but it will cost you. You will have to pay for that. Say lawyer no so able to me email omo access omo app so then that will help, because at least now almost to me any response senya almost so masum bedroom kakra. If you want to call them, I know say type UKVI contact services omo number beba app over to me after omo
UKVI contact.
Yeah.
UKVI
UKVI
contact services.
yeah omo number ebeba so, and once you call you will be charged for that call no.
Pacho, back on ye refuse because of birth certificate, you know. According to lawyer, and now or see, young China, we know a year successful and sign, you apply for it. So up to now, and also because of that, you to me and yes, since that time, you know.
Oh, my dream saying now a bomb. Okay, in terms of Nipakona, of course, almost say na ne birth certificates no omunjin dino. And this was no we appeal.
Appeal.
Okay.
Yeah, appeal now. Yeah, omo refuse here.
Okay, it's
Omo refuse, yeah.
Refuse appeal no, mo person mo sign yet another application MSA no. But so we did 21.
Yeah.
Mame or whatever in Casa EU and I say British and I say settle. EU. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Into I think say they should still put in the application. And you say Bakuba and Sana Yaya Baku. Definitely no. I don't understand why the prolonged wait. So you refuse to appeal no na the next step is to reapply. Then make a reapplication and obviously argue the reasons the NCR refuse so and refuse based on the fact that ABIA, for instance, Akolani birth set no say recently done. Still na jitum say it was done following the right procedures within the Ghana birth and death registry, and therefore you are still relying on birth certificates to be able to make this application and to show the relationship between Omamene Akolano. And in any case, yeah, they are mabako, and see why shouldn't they grant for this other child? And you want to put those reasons forward for Omo to also look at it. And so there's no need for the wait and I say that delay. I think say cutting up in so ama akolaba akwa, then they can definitely, the Home Office can definitely look at the application for the other child. I don't see why Bakono should have the visa and their passport and sana why your application no. They can put in the application straight away.
Lawyer,
okay, so usually offer officer on way to me a bookie appointment amount. And say me the office number no, enemy number no, ever to draw at the end of the program, not wait to me after me. Na at least you who time out also we are available over to me aba.
Okay, yeah, me that's it.
I'm a lawyer, me pacho nkebeya. Fanomano to job akuma ye because encheni ye pon.
Okay.
Fanomano to job akuma ye ni enwe.
Okay, into pacho yeah, office number ni 0208 493 7340. Into 0208 493 7340. And I'm your number 075 35813910. I hope so. Wait to me.
Yo, no, that's it.
About your set one second, no man.
Prophet in Pacho Misaka, Yamishra.
Yeah, that Nyamia say. My yenja hat near to you, my dear. So I can be a few minutes. Not your time on us soon. Now you be a kittim. And they Thursday or so for very sorry. Mr. Sunny. You was so for Konokoya 1212. Maybe I chop me my watching and more acquire ever you, my dear. So.
Hello, Prophet Miller, Pacho Michamo.
Oh, Henny, yeah, Joshua Cronton. Yes, we share me. Here's a lawyer, Esther Syria, and the lawyer put a what party of young come didn't work with you. Seriously, you're here, Papa.
Now, Eunice, if I saw no question about the pet, if I saw me home her, now me link her, I think I'm bishop. Now me use you being carter, and I am a different day, a common personal account in our Ghana. I said to do the personal account to my number transfer you am my Encolano man, no, or the account Colano. The Colano is a woman 15 flowers. Namia Bumman and Sasa, listen to the first statement now, the comma or ban a Johnson, I'm sure one.
Okay, inti sɛ wode sika ekoto wɔ account no mu na obi eyi sika no, and in this case we say nkwala ne maame. In our immigration rule,
the transfer sika no if you personal account and the command Colano money, a different Colano, almost school fees, hospital bills, any BBR. Then I'm transfer from and Colano money. Not what they are sharing Colano.
Okay. Okay. Now me explain BB in terms of immigration rules. Into say person application because ABA when you 2.5 into who ba Ghana person omo be council e wo krom ha. Their ways are wetumi aye. One of them is that wo kra 2.5 no ampa uti krom ha. Akola ne mame anase nkola no mo mame no so ono so kra 2.5 ni bia ono so ti krom ha. Anase ebia akola ne mame anase ne mame ono so application join ne wo ene nkola no wo krom ha. Ana krapo say because mame no any picture ni mu ebia we film anase we jan nkola no ho nti wo na wo so responsibility for nkola no nti se o mame no se wo se ono na ehwe omo wo Ghana, that means that we need so responsibility. And also say no to make us say we free and I say o ka say ono to chrome ha ono so what 2.5 until you have to obviously find a way and means where you will be able to say either say what's so responsibility and I say oh yeah application ama o ma me na nkola no abejoin no work room ha and I say you are saying say afi de ma me no on first obehwe nkola no bi until when I what's our responsibility for nkola no, and then they would look at the application that way. Because in Kolani Mammy, hwe dia, edenti na ese nkola no be join wo ha. Adenti na unkoswa manisika na onhwe nkola no wo fie ema. Pacha what you say?
No, Pacha, my chance, but then the question is
because
however, no problem had on the meaning kaka. Yeah, na Mr. Nisika, I call me personal bank account in all Ghana. Yeah, no my transfer after my Obama or Ghana and accounting. No, you be the account alone. Into that is in young class, after me the application. Me the bank statement na a Ghana no time transfer can come up and plan on my money. And yes, I'm not so responsibility of the case and
okay. Inti tiase say me na meye nkola ne maame na wo disika to me account nim. Embrane say me trust so responsibility. Say me a meye nkola ne maame no. So wo disika na maame a eno nkyere say wo so responsibility because me so me won nkola na brabum. Inti untumi nka nkyere me say wo so responsibility where me maame no me hwe nkola no. What you say?
Okay.
Until you have, there's a joint responsibility because we will share nkolano, me so me share nkolano. Until how are you going to prove to the Home Office say who was so responsibility where who this ka ema me so me de share nkolano? Because so responsibility, say ebia mama no we free because oyare yen until we free. And I say mama no only picture ni biom mwahwehwe no mwahwehwe ne saa my police report mwahwehwe bebia owo no but still na oni nkola no omo abrabum nti police for no omo try so omo hwehwe no she's been missing for days and weeks omo hu bebia mame no wo nti abane say say wona wo hwe nkola no because of course, mane any babum into esa wo we papa wo UK hanom no esa ukofa nkolano na hu say at least papa ebe to me ahwe omo because mame na first na ohwe omo no afi de waira ye hu baby akọ and I say we film oyare pa na we film into oni nkolano abrabo no into no na so responsibility. But what this sika mama say mention nkola na ebe dey na wetumi a so responsibility.
Okay, na me dey say dia the bank statement no make sense at the IF supporting document. Say me na mention nkola through nkola no mind. That was what I was thinking before.
Yeah, I mean when it comes to financial support there at least say that one it can show financial support, but the fact say this sikane money no will just demand the fact say also responsibility. Of course it proves financial support, but it doesn't prove you have sole responsibility.
What you say? My friend Kalani school, but my friend almost my friend hospital, me Arabia, me na my friend staff. I talked to the headmistresses, headmasters, everything. Omo kotreka, omo edusami, master ni komo mani, o mami di ama omo. The first school ni bia.
I am pastor, but because awofo mienu no, ewo nkola no mo ababu mu nti, omo hwe ne say o mami etifie na obetumi ahwe omo dia, then my no nto aso. Unless you are saying say afraid the when you are indefinite, into person mami no, any nkola no. Then that's a different application. And I said, say mama no, because when you're indefinite, no, person or no ba, man 2.5. Later now I offer nkolano. But say you walk no, unya 2.5 no crown to even get indefinite. Inti say person offer nkolano based on 2.5 ne dia, then it means say so responsibility, which shows say mame na eni nkola no omo abrabum.
So for mame lawyer kroa no ampai tintin ayem permanent tintin. Me nua point no so responsibility no enye adwuma. Enti omra office na ye ne ntenase ne enhwe the other next door. Ayi bitimi afa because mame no wo ho ne de wo nko antimi nklemu so responsibility. Enti no responsibility na be mu miru na mo share. Enti home office be ka kire o say nkola no mu ni how so wu ni ho kra maame ne wo sa ye na maame ni ho dia na wo take total control enti sa so responsibility ni de enye adwuma ma yempe another responsibility ni yemfa so brabe hunu lawyer wo office why nyame nshira o so responsibility ni de afa baby boni
the last one if you mention my Columbia 18, I mean, can direct the patron. Okay.
Patron, say Coladi 18 now or your adults into a no sanon to any application, Emmanuel.
But I tell you, I'm a lawyer. But that's it.
The same. Won't say more will be sending in. I was so bad lawyer nim na motenasi because there are other ways. So responsibility need you are doing it so. And as you can it you na ya wode. And if Abraham na me fankwe. So responsibility need you are ni free so. Abraham office ni other doors. Amachi de dabo nyumu wanti. But he say nkrodo so ayantina fa kunye ni mguatio. Enti lawyer ho no ekwan ne doors bra. Why? Nyame shira. Bye bye. Yemfa your last caller anopai. Me ba cho me ma achi emo wakwa ba eba dwumadie so. Hello.
Prophet we dey one lawyer ni Eunice marching.
Oh hene ya Joshua Akronto.
That's it. We dey masem kitia. Na mo de mapon.
That's it. Fabra lawyer 8 you.
My lawyer. Asante say me question here you know be. Me pa cho me nua bi. Omo yem no baako. Mienu nyina ko form yere aba. Na baako enya ne nkrata no indefinitely through UK mra. Na baako nso nya ne nkrata through EU. Okay. Nti baako ko fa na yere no. EU de ko fa na yere no. Ne visa no ya mu standard and non standard. No standard non tia say ono ne de no ase ya man of 5 years route. Ena de onya na nkrata through UK mra no. Enso ya man 10-year route. Nti say standard no and non standard lawyer be chichirim takra. Ena me question ba ko e ka ho no say me brother ba ko so aye application ya call home office. And I'm a British child partner route, Yaman 2.5. Now 2.5 no, was I renew? Or the application up to me, be a couple 9 months in on Terry. Okay. The person be also be say no, ye renew mana, almost best start every time. Ya Davis ana renew mana, and that's one go back to time 2.5 years. The lawyer bet matter to mama. Why confused?
Okay, in regards to last question, no. Okay, say, brother no what 2.5. Oko renew no. I did 9 months this year. Now onya ne 2.5 new one na. Omo be count back and I say omo be no from the time onya second one no. Says ana wo bisa. Okay. In regards to brother no, say let's say someone make a decision maybe 1 year later and I say 18 months crown popa ho say okoye ne indefinite na they will count from the time only on the first 2.5 no up to 10 years say or 10-year route no so or say 5-year route no then that is also going to be from the time only on the first 2.5 on the 5-year route until say ebia second one na all year way you know a 5-year route no so and na opposite okoso until it will be from the time almost this 2.5 second one no ebema no but if he is doing it based on the 10-year route there then it would mean say from the first 2.5 na only no up to 10 years no they will count it into that will show say the 10 years no aso but say or you know on the 5-year route no dia ebe sha say from the timer or the second one no ebe ma no.
Okay, my memory am kakrom pacho. One says say no what the enfan say or the 2 months we ka 1 year I enfa this an man me say in 1 to 1.5 year no near the man nti on say 2.5 the 2.5 na is akabe say the man 1 year 3 months and as aka 2 months 1 year no san could renew you
omo yenesa it's omo yenesa un basis no because otia application fee any immigration health surcharge into say let's say omo mame 2.5 and there it will expire in 2025 because and then omo de mame because of the fact say ekodi omunsem for let's say 1 year say me koye me indefinite na me count sa 1 year na omo edi omo honom no because 10 years no ebia ebe so 2030 but because ebia me 2.5 last one na maye no emba ewieye but minim pan say me koje me first 2.5 2010 I mean 2020 into me first 2.5 na me koje 2020 no minim pan say say me 10 years no so 2030 but akodi omunsem and I me last 2.5 and as me fourth 2.5 na say me ye no emba ewieye but minim pan say me 2.5 no say etwa so fa na 2030 and na say me nsa can me indefinite into one try my fourth one ni enwu answer na why you indefinite no
indefinite okay
say unim say March 2020 and I was aka first 2.5 now and the March 2030 no now why application for indefinite no because unim say e go di ensem for that 1 year period but say or switch it to the 5-year route there and there e beba ne say time no mo dey 2.5 no be ma no e ho na e be hia ase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nke no one so be bo no ho say time e dey be akodi ho no. E be ba na time na short time renew for 10 years and me fan 7.5 no.
Patrai.
Very short.
Patrai.
Yo, me that. Any second question?
And a second question no now o ka say what sisters on my application based on EU routes and immigration rules no so and
yeah nipa me no
okay and baako no on my man standard visa is it 5 years
5 years on
5 years leave to remain
yeah
and baako no so yama no 2.5 biometric card ni bi say yes sir
yeah
it's usually a standard visa will show that usually we show your immigration rules now. Say yeah, ma entry clearance spousal visa. Yeah, because say this is a standard visa. Into under the immigration rules, say home office case worker make a decision now, or be make a decision to either grant 30 months, which is 2.5, or they will be able to grant 33 months. 33 months near 2 years 9 months. Into that is the standard visa or to me ama spouse and I say or year or kuna or be join it ne hokafo e wo krom ha. That is within immigration rules. When it comes to appendix EU, which is for EU nationals and ne onwebusiafo no, a standard period of 5 years is what they will give. Into say over to me actually say we year no assume see a and the omobema was standard 5 years leave to remain ewo krom ha and then for obi our immigration rules na say no they will usually give 30 months or 33 months depending on the fact that why your application no outside of the UK or they ba UK krom ha into sanity.
Okay. Internet is standard no. It means say 2.5 years no indefinite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because case we cannot say all granted 33 months and I say also granted 5 years no based on your appendix EU and I say your immigration rules appendix FM. Yeah.
Okay. Me that's it, lawyer. Thank you.
And so yadawasi esamu afrisha pata so bye bye. Lawyer ene aha nyeri jumadi no besi 11 abo apa ho 8 minutes. Ohwa yemre no aso akona nim papa. Odifuo me wonema mienu miensa eye ansa na nyemre asori aso ka hu se school runs ewo ho. Enti ne mame akwanja na memfa wonsi ha. Lawyer edi yaba yanim papa ye hyase 9 o'clock ama 11 abo. Nka lawyer wotam ye 1 hour. Enso wo hwa nka 9 to 10 and as I say odifo me di 1 hour account lawyer fa wanu mu nsem etwato breye na fi fa contact number no machi etaso na yenko
Yami Shra prophet with the debia or the time to be kaya ho insi yami Shra enkosa Shra bosu it's here for ne kofa mo hwe na ye dan yami asese and then muni yen abedi edwumedi sɛnya yɛdi kan ɛkaeɛ ɛfa awofo a ebi abako ɛni nkɔla no abrabom na ɔpɛ sɛ ɔne ɔmo ɛwɔ saa relationship anaasɛ saa bond no as much as possible sɛ obi ba a ɔbɛka n'asɛm ɔne immigration status bia ɛwɔ kurom ha but ɛnyɛ because of wo immigration status ɛna wopɛ sɛ wowɔ akɔla no abrabom anaasɛ nkɔla no ɔmo abrabom ɛyɛ because woyɛ awofo a wohia sɛ at least nkɔla no nso wone ɔmo bɛ interact ɔmo bɛ have saa bond no with you wonim dia ɔbɛhwɛ wo debi nti ɛno nso saa no wodwen ho a na waka no sɛ okay because menim sɛ me nso meyɛ awofo a me nso mewɔ saa responsibilities for saa nkɔla yi me make sure sɛ mɛbɔ mo ho aden na metumi ahwɛ ɔmo sɛ nyame so metumi enya saa enigye a awofoɔ so ɛwɔ nti of course sɛ ɛyɛ child arrangement order and na is to do with any other issues in regards to nationality and I say immigration issue and I say civil litigation matter or per se yes then of course we can contact us at BWF Solicitors. Yeah, main office London. Yeah, address 214 is the 4th floor of Anna House. 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London. Postcode near N154NP. Into N154NP. You're buying 7 Sisters Underground train station in Nimpe. Ufa as a tour. You were Abron Science, was that right? Your friend Anna House into. Who say dental signpost crampo esi enim over 4th floor of Anna House. Opeso book your appointments any lawyer for to do your office edin kwama efa wo issue ho a ube fre 0208 493 7340 into 0208 493 7340. Your offices na ye be Monday to Friday be 9:30 to 6 p.m. So open so contact me out of office hours at my number 075 35 81 3910. Prophet Nyame Enshirao yeda yetefo ne your viewers na assist and I Wama ejumade akoso pepepe nyame enka mo ho
Mame lawyer yeda wase papa ene de atiefo ma ye kwan ne mfa dwumade ni nyina ensi ha pepa cho mo a mo frɛ me no obi a mfa no tuo ento fom Putin so obi a mfa no tuo ento fom mesrem ene mo ma ye mfa nsi ha enye sa time no ebebiti me bebre 12 bomi wa happy asembeba 12 bomi wa happy asembeba enti onyame nhyiram na onyame enkam ho nyame ya adoma da sende obeti enka ene onko ba bi anwumre ya obekọ ba bi kura jai na hia me 709 Okent Road na me no yenkobo mpaye yenkosungu awurade so sese niam mu dia na eye nyame ebesesa niam a Yesu frɛ no enti brane yenko mamela ya nyame nhyira me dam ase papa birthday no akokama nyame nhyira enti yebesa ahia da sende advert no bo wi no ante menka odifo makraw bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services, including family law, matrimonial
in place. Immigration issue.
Okay, Amanda Amuzu will say hello, please. If I got 2.5 years to my children and you want to renew, what application form should I fill? I think that Ufred line also it's from FLRFP. Yeah, nti over yeah from FLIF. And Eunice Nate will say hello, please. Eunice, a nurse from Ghana would like to know how to apply and work as a senior carer in the UK. Nti ebia o Ghana, because we are nurse e Ghana, o person o apply for skilled worker visa as a carer e UK krom ha. The first step is to finding a work, a job that will give you that certificate of sponsorship. Over to me a DIE application. I know say there are some nursing homes that may be sponsors, and yet nursing home bia and a sponsor of international workers. There are NHS hospitals, NHS nursing homes. There are some independent nursing homes that will have sponsorship license saying to me I'm a certificate of sponsorship. It is about looking out for agencies or care homes within the UK who can offer you a job. Say on to me certificate of sponsorship there, then that is the first step into applying for that skilled worker visa, because assess the fact that when you have that certificate of sponsorship, and because it is an area which is under a shortage occupation list, no soninity, that is also another 20 points in itself, because when here 70 points are over to me at the application. No? Into 20 points for the certificate of sponsorship, another 20 points because your work that you are doing is within the shortage occupation list. And then they look at the fact that over to me I can't actually brofo either say or undergraduate degree and now cramp say over here or more English speaking and listening test IELTS at a level B1 and that's a B2 and sana another 10 points. And then they look at the salary level that you'll be collecting. ABR with salary now is between let's say 23,000 to 25,600, depending on if it is on the higher end. So we'll pay salary now is around that level now. They can also look at that and say that ABR 25,600 ninety, yebama 20 points. Almost sure with skill level. Say over to me, and they need a skill level which is above a level 3. In Simenim say, oh yeah, we nursing diploma no, na level 3 and I say level 4 and I say whatever level. But say with skill level no is a level 3 or above, and also Sano is another 20 points. As long as you are able to get the certificate of sponsorship, they will look at your skill, the required skill level that you should have. They will look at whether your job is paying you the right salary. They will look at your English language, level B1 or B2. They can also look at the fact that ABA with Jumana is within the shortage occupation list. And also Sano, they will consider the fact that, of course, because we are a Juma in high demand, and also Sano, Ebema points. And no Sano na ube yusu EDIA application no. I know it's not quite easy, but you have to find the job first before you can take steps to make the application for a skilled worker visa. I hope that I'll be able to answer your question, Eunice. Last person but not least, Evans Kwame SL. Say, please, lawyer, one of my friends, his uncle wants to take him to the UK. What application does he need to fill? So, offer or they will buy UK. It depends on the status that we offer. No, so offer a EU national. Unfortunately, sir, don't know December 2020. sɛ wo offer yɛ British ni anaasɛ okra indefinite ɛno no yɛ sɛ woka kyerɛ ɔmo sɛ saa wo offer no of course because ɔte kurom ha ɔyɛ British anaasɛ ɔyɛ settled person wo a woyɛ offer ase no ebia wo yare bia ɔmo ni treatment ɛwɔ kurom ha anaasɛ ɔmo ni inyama ɔmo tumi ɛde ahwɛ wɔ kurom hɔ nti saa deɛ then unfortunately there is no application that your uncle can make for you to come and live in the UK ebia wo edwuma a woyɛ nti you may be able to make an application under the skilled worker route and as I open so obesua ade ɛwɔ UK kurom ha you can also look at the student visa route to see if you meet the requirements to make an application and to study obetumi abesra wo offer or te kurom ha because there is no application which will allow wo offer to make an application for you to come and join or no ewo kurom ha to say one kasa wo gina wanemu a officer woyɛ area skilled worker bi anaasɛ wo eyere anaasɛ eba ewo kurom ha dia and that will be another reason for you to make an application but not based on offer. Inti yebeja no ha madam was say bonfire said as in there yebe sign issue.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specializing in a range of legal services, including family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary and family law. At BWF, our solicitors are pleased to offer high-quality legal representation at competitive rates. Our senior partner, Bernardo Wusu, has over 29 years' experience as a lawyer in the UK. BWF solicitors provide independent and practical legal assistance for all kinds of family matters, such as childcare, contested and uncontested divorce, and injunctions for domestic violence. Our child care and family team appreciate the issues facing you in this difficult time, which is why we offer confidential advice delivered in a sensitive manner. Our senior partner is an accredited member of the Law Society Family Law Accreditation Panel, which guarantees expert representation in all family and matrimonial cases. We are located at 4th floor Anna House, 214 to 218 Tottenham High Road, London, N15 4NP. Just a short walk from Seven Sisters Underground.